Hello everyone, it's Julie at Camellia Crafts Designs. Welcome again. And yeah, I'm going to be making some tags and pockets today. Like this. Yeah, I'll make the actual tag and pocket after I've showed you what I'm going to decorate it with. If you've bought from me or seen my Etsy shop, you'll know I quite often do sets of these. Right, this one today. I've not been feeling very Christmassy. It's just, Christmas is just not happening for me yet. Normally by this point my Etsy shop is full of Christmas makes, and I made some and they've sold out, and I need to make some more to replace them. So I thought, how can I get feeling Christmassy? Well, I saw a video by Izzy B of Izzy B Craft Creations where she did a flip through of this. And it is the Big Book of Journaling Vintage Christmas Edition from Craftbox UK. So I thought, oh, I'll buy that. And I bought the pack that they did with that had Ephemera that came with it. And I've not actually opened it until now. And I did start opening it on camera, but then I stopped because, to be quite honest, I was disappointed with some of it. Some of it's amazing, some of it for Christmas disappointed me. And you could hear it in my voice. I was like, oh. But I'll show you. Yeah, I don't know if this is still available. I don't know if other people have bought it and had the same thoughts. I've not contacted Craftbox, but I will message them. It's not that I wouldn't use this stuff. All of it is absolutely gorgeous. Really gorgeous. But it's not all Christmassy. Yeah, in fact, some of it couldn't be further from Christmassy if it tried. The paper pack, fabulous. The ephemera, gorgeous ephemera, just not Christmassy. And had I known that, I wouldn't have bought the paper with the ephemera pack. I would have just bought the paper. I've got lots of ephemera. I could sell you ephemera. In fact, I do sell you ephemera because I've got so much of it. So anyway, I'll show you the paper first. I'm not going to do a long flip through. If you want to see this in more detail, I think I might link Izzy's video where she goes through it. Yeah, I'll just give you a quick flip. Now it's called the Big Book of Journaling Vintage Christmas Edition. I've never bought one of these before. This is the first one I've bought. Now it has 24 pages with 8 designs. It's 190 GSM paper. It's gorgeous. And there are 275 elements. So let's show you. There's 8 designs, so I'm just going to show you one of each. So you'll see me flip 3 pages at a time. So this is the first page. Fabulous. The perfect thing for me to decorate my tags and envelopes. Yeah, these are brilliant. Love them. So that's Christmas Ephemera 1. Another set, absolutely gorgeous. Right up my street. Then we've got Christmas music paper snippets, which are really good. Christmas music paper snippets 2. Similar snippets, but with holly and bells and Santas and angels, all the kind of things you expect for Christmas. And yeah, can't praise it enough. Then we've got the Santa postcards. Absolutely gorgeous. Again, it'll be brilliant for what project I'm about to do. So these are the Christmas postcards. They're all very vintagey. I knew this page was in. I knew it wasn't my favourite, but the rest of it is so gorgeous. I can forgive them that page. Other people might love it. I seem to remember Izzy wasn't keen on that page, and no, I wasn't either. But I think I'm going to still make tags out of it. In fact, I may make tags and pop them in with my Christmas orders. Then we've got this one. Love it. Absolutely gorgeous. You can use these as journal cards, turn them into tags, make pockets and tucks in your albums. Then we've got this one. And again, I knew this was in. I think it's more geared to Christmas cards than Christmas journaling. You never know, I might make some Christmas cards. Pop them in with my orders as well. So yeah, really happy with the book. Lovely quality of paper. I'm going to be able to use every scrap of that. Now here's the ephemera. Some gorgeous ephemera. And I'm not going to keep saying this, a lot of it's gorgeous, but it's just not Christmassy. I'll show you the Christmas. This is my Christmassy pile and this is my non-Christmassy pile. So these are so fabulous. The Alice in Wonderland Christmas themed journal cards. Love them. Love, love, love them. So yeah. There's the rabbit. That one, not necessarily Alice, but we've got the Alice diamonds in the background. That one, love it. Got the Mad Hatter there. Tweedledee and Tweedledum, that's what I call my kids sometimes. It's a twin thing. The Queen, the Tall Alice. Yeah, love these. They do need recutting because they do have white edges on. They're not cut square and some of the edges are quite rough. So, but once they're recut, they'll be perfect. I might even try sticking them through my printer and printing something on the back, because they're thick enough as they are. I wouldn't like to glue them to something else to make my journal cards. No, but yeah, I like those, really like those. So they're nice and Christmassy. Now you get all this ephemera and these envelopes. Look how much there is. There's absolutely loads. It's brilliant value for money. But I bought it expecting it to be Christmas themed, and it isn't. These envelopes could be made Christmas themed. I think that one actually would have been perfect in that rose journal I made. And that's been posted out now, so I can't put it in there. I'll save it for the next rose journal. A red envelope, a cream envelope, and this envelope is brilliant. Vintage style. Love it, but again, not Christmassy. Oh, and this tiny little envelope. Yeah. So we'll get some little, these are the vellum stickers, which I love. You can, they tend to take ink quite well, these. Is that, no, that's the Children's Book of Gardening. Put that in Christmas pile. So that Christmas pile just shrank. Christmas with the, I can't even read it. Christmas with someone. It's Christmassy. And this one has an angel on. Life and Works of William Blake, Volume 1. So as we could call it Christmassy. What's this one? Child's Garden of Verses. Yeah, again, this Christmassy pile shrinking. Now I put this in Christmassy pile because it's a street light. Could be classed as Christmassy. These, I think they're earrings, but if I could cut that in half and turn them into Christmas baubles. Then what's that? Why is that in Christmas pile? No, so yeah, I'm not even going to do a full look through these. I may have missed odd one or two Christmas ones, but my initial project is not going to go as expected because this ephemera is not Christmas. I just wanted it to save a bit of time on cutting out Christmas ephemera, and yeah, it's not Christmassy. So in that respect I'm disappointed, but this is going to be brilliant for other projects. But oh look, I can use that for Christmas. Yeah, it's a lamppost. I'll stick a holly twig on it. So yeah, I'm going to pop those out of the way because we're not going to be using them today on this project. I really should have not put the bag too far away. Bag, where have you gone? Where have you gone, bag? Oh, bag could be anywhere. In my little cluttered craft cube. I'll just pop those out of the way. So yeah, we don't need those for today. So that was the other reason I decided to redo video, apart from my obvious disappointment in my voice. So here we go. I won't be using these today. I don't think I'll use the vellum stickers anymore because I won't have enough for everything. So yeah, they're gone. So I'm going to be left with the big book of Vintage Christmas. Big Book of Journaling Vintage Christmas Edition. I can't say it. And yeah, the washi tape's not Christmassy, but it's fabulous. In a non-Christmassy kind of way. Right, I'll shut up about that now. and we'll crack on with what we're doing. Right, I have got my book pages there that I have pre-prepared, but before we go on to decorate those, I will actually show you exactly how I put these pages together. They're so simple, really simple. You shouldn't have a problem with it. What have we got here? Here we go. No, we don't want that. Where's me? Yeah, we've got some pages there from Charles. Is it Charles Dickens, Emma? No, is it Charles Dickens? Is it Bronte? Oh, yeah, something like that. Right, so firstly, to make the pocket, I will take 2 book pages and glue them together. Yes, they're already done. They're not glued, they're only done with glue stick. They don't need gluing perfectly well. And then I don't even measure. I just roughly, if I'm making a set of 3, I'll put the first one up top like that so I can do the rough measuring, but I'm not actually measuring. And I'll fold it like that, then I'll fold again like that, making sure it's roughly the same size as the previous one. Yeah, I will then use one of my circle punches. I always put the notch on the front edge where there's no join, and I'll just, oh yeah, so you know, sometimes punches can be an absolute pain if what you're punching through isn't thick enough. So quick tip, what I do, I'll put a piece of thin card behind where I want to punch, and hope you can see this, and I'll just do it again, and that makes it go through easily. Yeah, it's weird that when they call them paper punches, warn you not to use paper that's too thick, and then if your paper's too thin, they don't blumping work. Blumping, that's a new word, isn't it? I think I might make my own dictionary up. Right, and then before going any further, just ink this a little bit, and that little bit behind. What's going to show? Yeah, so it's going to be this side that shows. I'll ink the rest at another time. Yeah, and then I come in. Now, depending on whether I'm stitching it or not, depends on how well I glue these. I'm not going to stitch this, so I'm not going to glue it, yeah, with any industrial strength glue. I've organised all my glue and regular supplies into a basket that I can move off my desk when I need the space. So I'll get my gluing book. I think if you're into junk journal and you've been watching other people, you know what a gluing book is. It's just basically the surface I glue on. Right, I'm going to make sure these edges are glued, that edge is glued. As I take these out of the book, gluing them together in pairs, I always make sure the edge that's going to be the top gets a good lick of glue so it doesn't come apart. But can you see this? I now want to make sure those edges are glued well, because that's going to go over. And I'm then going to also glue that. I'm going to glue that edge because we don't want anything catching when we come to put our tags in this, and just press that down, and that's all the gluing it needs. Tea delivery's here. Thank you, Rachel. Can you take my old mug back, please? Thank you. She doesn't like doing that. The first time I got a "you're welcome", then I think I got an "it's okay", and now I've got a anyhow. So yeah, that's my pocket. Yeah, if I was not going to stitch around this pocket, I'd then perhaps put a bead of glue on the inside, but I'm going to stitch, so I'm not going to bother because the stitching will hold it together. So that's your pocket. The tag, when I'm doing these smaller ones, I tend to use one piece of paper. If I'm doing larger ones and I want the tag to be a little bit more sturdy, I'll perhaps use 2. So I'll get my existing tag and I'll do my first wrap. Is that one piece or two? That's two pieces, you silly woman. I think these are all glued together ready. Wow, I'm getting organised and doing things in advance. We'll do it with two. We'll just have a chunky tag in this one. We're not using this today, but I normally just use one. And I'll line my old tag up and start to wrap around. If it's the first tag you're doing, get your pocket and I will put it on top. I'll put this on top of the pocket and bring it in. If you're stitching, you're going to want it to be a good 1/4 of an inch or 1 centimetre narrower than your pocket. So I'll do that. Then I'll make my first fold along the edge of the tag. How wonky is that? Then I'll straighten it up if need be. And then I'll fold that again. So then we have our tag. Yeah, that will pop in there. I think you get the idea, don't you? You don't need to see me glue these edges, do you? You know exactly what I'm going to do. And again, if you're not going to sew, make sure all your edges are stuck down. I use something like art glitter or another PVA. And across there where you cut the corners, again, I do those with my chomped down credit card. What's this? NHS card. Chomp down whatever card I'm using that day then. Now that's is that a bit big? I'm going to use the little one on this. I don't want big chompy corners because I will use this. This will get thrown in one of my junk journal boxes for a particular journal I'm working on. There you've got that. So just make sure they're all glued down nicely if you're not going to be sewing. But I always sew these because I love the look of it. So that's going to get put in another box. So we'll go back to Blue Peter mode with the ones I prepared earlier, yeah? Put my things on the floor bin. Haha, floor bin. Put the lid on my glue. Me being good, well behaved. Right. To decorate these, I have brought a little... Just let me select the glue I'm going to want and then... Well, I might need Collage. Might need 3-in-1. Probably need my tonic. Yeah, that's enough glue. So, that's everything we don't need out it way. And I'm just going to have a quick sup of this tea. Quick sup. That's a Yorkshire thing, that. We don't drink tea, we sup it. I think I meant to say sip, but we do sup tea in Yorkshire. There you go. We sup beer and all. I don't personally. Right. So, bring in my big book of journaling. So, I love that we've got 2 different size images on these, because when I make these tag and pocket combos, I like to use a larger image on the pocket than I do on the tag. So these are just going to be absolutely brilliant. So I'm going to tear Christmas Ephemera 1 page out and Christmas Ephemera 2. I've not done any fussy cutting ready because they're all squares, they're easy to cut, and when I am doing these I'm not too fussy about how good my cutting is. In fact, when they're all lined up nice and perfect in rows like this, I get my trimmer out to do some cutting that way. There you go. And then it's pretty quick. Do you know, even when I buy digitals, I love the designers who line up their images like this, because it's such a time saver. A really big time saver. I don't know if that's coming in straight. So yeah, that's fine. Already done that edge, so I'm going to start separating these rows now. If they're not printed straight on the actual card, just line up the edge of the images along your cutting blade on your trimmer. That's what I do. Like I say, I'm not too bothered if these are perfect, so I'm going to ink the edges. I may distress the edges. I've not decided yet. So, well, I'm not going to cut those. When it comes to cutting one separate one, I find that a bit quicker with my scissors. I can cut a straight line if I've got an edge to cut along. It's I can't freestyle a straight line from random paper. I just can't do it. So that's one done. I'm going to do this other ephemera as well. I'll be a bit yeah, I'm going to stop being quite so vicious with my trimmer. That's much better. There's no wonder I break my tools, is there? I mean, I'm bringing that down, I don't know. Like I'm in France using a guillotine. A long time ago, not now. I don't believe that happens anymore. Shut up, Julia, you'll get all politically incorrect. Right, I'll be careful here now because they're smaller. There's 4 up there and only 3, and I don't want to chop her feet off or her head. Shut up, Julie. You're chopping heads off again. Stop it. Very appropriate talk for Christmas, is it now? Don't. Do you know, I haven't had giggles on for quite a while. Like that. You know what kind of giggles you get where you can't stop laughing? Especially if... And then no one else will say anything. No one else will do anything. Just that other person you're giggling with looks at you and it all starts again, doesn't it? I've not had a good giggle like that for a long time. I might have to, yeah, spend a bit more time. I'm telling you, 14-year-olds are not that. It's not that giggling age, is it? They're more likely to look at you like, "Oh, mother, what did you just say?" Whereas like a year ago, they'd have just laughed and laughed and laughed. I said I weren't doing single ones with Chopper, didn't I? Right, put Chopper away, girl. I'm going to end it with enough Christmas images chopped here for... Sorry, I'm doing sound effects now as well. Yeah, we'll now chop the rest of them up like this. Ooh, I've left a bit more white than I wanted, so that's 1. And for some reason, I don't know why it is, I tend to do these pockets and envelopes in sets of 3. Really couldn't tell you why I do that. Couldn't tell you. It has some quirks to the Yorkshire language. Our way of saying couldn't says an awful lot like a naughty word. But it isn't. It's just how some of us say it. I'll go back into my posh mode. Yeah. I think I then need to cut a couple of the little ones up. That one, I'm not going to even trim that one for now because that one's a little bit on the light side. I don't think that's going to be in keeping with the others I'm doing. That's that. Don't chop her feet off, woman. That one's light, but it's not. It still fits in, doesn't it? Well, I think it does. You might be sat there thinking, what is she on about? One day into lockdown and I've gone stir crazy, which, considering my life's not much different in or out of lockdown, is like, can't really be reason, can it? I think when you work from home already, your life ain't much different, is it? I'm a bit unimpressed with some fireworks going off, but that's my personal opinion on it. I wouldn't like to be working in A&E patching these people up who'd decided to have one too many and let some fireworks off. but I do understand that a lot of people get fun and pleasure out of fireworks.
Sorry, I don't know that.
Every time. I wonder what she doesn't know. It'd be fun sometimes to ask. Do you know, I'm going to ask her a question. Alexa, what is a junk journal?
Junk journaling. It is a process of upcycling and recycling printed materials like books, magazines, songbook, scrap paper, etc. into a journal as indicated on a book that use similarly to scrapbooking.
There you go. I don't think she's far from mark there. We've just expanded it to include printed papers we've bought specifically for that task, haven't we? Right, I think I've got enough cut there. Right, I'll bring in a couple of the other bits and bobs that I've got to use. I've got some of the craft paper, sticky backed craft paper. What did I drop there? Hello? Hello? Oh, I've dropped my glue book. Hang on. What am I like? It's gone right under my chair. I literally have got about 3 foot of floor space. So it's really hard to get to things you've dropped under your chair. Sorry if my head got in the way there. Come here, glue book. Oh. There it is. It's picked up. So sorry about that. Oh, I'm not doing well with videoing today. Yes, I bought the sticky back brown paper in because I'm going to use that on the back of my pockets and tags so that you can do a bit of journaling. So we've got that there. I may use some little bits of jute, so I've got that as well. I've also got some other bits and bobs of lace, some eyelash trim. Where's my lace tub gone? What's that? Oh yeah, that's my white eyelash trim that I got out already. So yeah, bring these back in. So I've decided I want one of the larger images on the front of the pocket and one of the smaller ones on the tag. I'm not going to match them up so they're exact. Oh yeah, I think I'll do that one. But looking at those like that on their own, they do look a little bit lost, don't they? So my collaging box is also coming out. So behind them I'm going to put some music paper. I may use straw paper. No, I'm not going to use straw paper. I'm going to stick with using that brown sticky back paper, I think. Yeah, brown sticky back paper. I can't see any scraps in my scrap box. I may have used them all up. Oh, there's a scrap. So let's just randomly tear some. I've not decided what size I need, so I'll start by tearing off all the straight cut edges, which I don't like using. I don't throw them away though, because sometimes I put those around the edge of other things or peeking out from behind something when you only want a tiny bit of it. So let's see, should we put this one behind that? Yep, music paper. That's an interesting piece. I've had that folded up at some point, so I'm going to start by tearing that one along the folds. I don't know if I need to cut all those straight edges off yet because they might be hiding underneath. That's not showing very much music paper, is it, putting it like that? That edge has got much more music paper on. I do need to tear that edge off. So if I put the music paper underneath, we're not going to see very much of it, are we? So that's going to go there. It's starting to build up a little collage with it. And I think I want a little bit of tea dyed paper near the bottom. Yeah, I think I'll have the stripes going vertically. I'll slide that under there. And yeah, I like that. I think the only thing that now needs is maybe a little bit of cheesecloth under the exact image, a little bit of inking, and I'm going to call that done. So yeah, I'll bring my ink in, and I'm going to do something very similar on the tag. I've probably used a lot more of this brown here than I actually need to use. But it is I think it's relatively inexpensive for what it is. Right, then we're going to peel the back off, and this is how I do it. I just nip the back of the corner with my fingernail and it comes off easily. Or use a blunt craft knife, I think I showed you in another video. I want that way around. So I'm going to pop that on there. I think I'm going to come in with the paper, the lined paper next. I'm liking how that looks. What am I going to glue it with? I think I'm going to glue it with a glue stick, this one. It's going to have other things on top, so it's not going anywhere, is it? Sometimes I'll use glue stick for the main area, then I might put a little bit more of a different glue at the bottom, such as a little row of art glitter. Just make sure the stripes are relatively straight, or it'll just send your eye off in a funny direction. Then did I put that there? I did. I did also have that under the lined paper, but this time I haven't, so I've just torn a little bit more off it. Did I have it that way? Oh, I had it that way, didn't I? That'll be fine. And again, I'm using this now to glue on this little bit of paper because I've got room to get my glue book on the table. So that, yeah, bob that one there. We're relatively straight-ish, yeah. I'm not going to get my ruler out and measure it. I'm not going to be that bad today. Yeah, I'm happy that's relatively straight-ish. So I'll bring the image back, and I'm going to just ink around that a little bit. Then we're going to grab some cheesecloth. I've got my little box here where I keep it all up. I'm not touching that microphone wire again. I really need to stop doing that. I need to find a new place to store these so that it don't sound like there's a gale blowing through. That's not my cheesecloth anyway. I've picked up lace. Where's cheesecloth? Where are you? It's probably in my big box. Yeah, it is. Cheesecloth. Now I bought this one. I don't even know whether it was called cheesecloth when I bought it, but it's not white, it's like an off-white, so I don't even have to bother tea dyeing it. The colour of it is perfect just as it is. You buy these things sometimes and you forget what you've bought, don't you? I'll see something that someone else has used, think I really must have that, jump onto internet, buy it, usually off Amazon, and then by the time it comes I forgot what I was going to do with it. So I'm just going to cut a random chunk off. Put that back. I don't know whether I want it double or single yet. I haven't decided. We'll see how it lays. How's it doing? Sometimes what I'll do is I'll glue it onto the back of the paper before I trim round it. think I'm going to use that piece there. I've got glue on my scissors. It pulled that then. I'm not going to put any other words on this, I don't think, because there is so much wordage on this little image. What I may do is I may die cut a little holly or a flower, or put a little, do you know, I'd think some ribbon, ruffled ribbon at the bottom might look really good. So yeah, I'm liking that. And I'm going to stick this one on with my 3-in-1. You can still use PVA for this, but this 3-in-1 does dry quite instantly. It's slow enough to give you your wiggle time, but once it's then on, it tends to set pretty fast. Oops. Then put my lid on in case it decides to volcano. Put it on quite generously as well, so it will go through my cheesecloth onto the card underneath. So yeah, that's that one. But that definitely needs something along the bottom, but I'm not sure at the moment what that something is. We'll put that over there to dry, and I'm going to bring my tag in. These fireworks are starting again, so I do apologise if you can't hear what I'm saying. We're now on the 7th of November. A bit more music paper. I think I'm going to have to cut into a new sheet of this brown paper. So yes, I'm just going to tear a strip off the side. I'm not really very precise with this. I quite like that rough and ready look sometimes. So I've got that. Tear around the actual music on some of that music paper. Got some of that. What else did I put behind? Oh, I've been using lined paper for this one. I'm going to tear the straight edges off. Oh, I think I like that much better. I'm going to use a different piece of music paper on this one that can fit up in that top corner. I think I need to get some new sheets of music paper out. I'm getting a little bit low on bits in my collage stash. Let's try that. Yep, I think I'll have it over the brown, and I'm going to cut the line one down a little bit so I see more of the music sheet. Yeah, I like that. Get a bit more inking done. Yeah, I am not the best in the world at collaging. I'm a bit like, find a formula that works for you and stick to it. It's my formula that seems to work. 3 things at the back and a focal point with something else under it. So I've got those all inked. Did we ink our little image? I don't think we did. So I've chosen 2 with children images on for this one. I think I'll do another one with Santas, and then the other one I'll do floral with the poinsettias and roses. We're going to use, yes we are, we're going to use glue stick again. I'm here looking for my glue book. Cat's here now. Cat hears me talking and I think she thinks I'm talking to her, and I'm not. She notes kids aren't here. Where's my glue book? Come here. It's a nightmare when you drop something under the chair. In my craft cube, as I call it. Yay! Glue book to do my gluing on. Right, we want the brown paper down first, which doesn't need glue, which is such a time saver. There we have that. Yeah, that's it. I want the music paper under the striped, but over the brown. So we'll do the music paper next. Again, I'm happy using glue stick because we're going to have other things stuck on. And yeah, that one there. They're maybe in a different place to where they were before, but I think that just goes to show how easy it is to use these. Now, because it's the tag, I'm not putting cheesecloth on, because that's just going to get caught when you put the tag inside the pocket. So on this one, I'm going to go just with the image, and I think that's quite sufficient. So I'll glue this one with Art Glitter for Speed. There we go. It's quite common for me to use half a dozen types of glue me on a project. I just do. So there we have it. So there's our tag. There's our pocket. All we need to do is decide what we're going to put on the top. And I do think this needs some red. I think it needs some red eyelash trim or some red ribbon. But first we'll just chomp a little hole with the corner chomper. With my crocodile. I'm going to use the handheld one. Just pop a hole in. There we go. Then I'm going to grab an eyelet. I think these are telling me to use gold, so I'm going to use gold on this. Yeah. I'm going to use the quite shiny one because it's Christmas. We need a bit of bling at Christmas, don't we? Am I feeling more Christmassy yet? I really don't know. I could be. Chomp that down. Oh, it's just gone slightly out of shape, that. That's because I'm using very thin paper, but you won't see that when you've got something threaded around. It's lovely and smooth on the back. What we're going to put in it. Do we want something red? Isn't me rifling? Is that oh, that's way too bright, that eyelash trim, isn't it? We don't want that. I've got some, I think I might like this. It's a burgundy wine type colour ribbon. It came around something, I can't remember what, and I've stashed it to use. Yeah, I like this. It's in between the colour of the girl's coat and those berries on that tree. So I'm just going to put a little bit through, and I'm going to fasten it in my favourite way. I'm going to put the existing crease there. No, that's there. Yeah. I like how that's all frayed as well, so I'm going to leave it. Cut the back off. Yeah, I think that really does just finish off, doesn't it? And I'm going to tie that around with, what shall I tie it around with? Eyelash trim. Yeah, it wants a little bit of fluff. We've got a bit of bling, we've got a bit of shine, we've got a bit of fluff. Because it's Christmas. Now, to tie this round and keep those flat, I just popped something heavy on the ends of the ribbon. I don't know if it's blocking you from seeing what I'm doing. I'm going to cut that off. This is the cream sparkle eyelash trim I'm using. It's cream, but some of the threads have got a little sparkle to them. I'm using way more than I need. I'm just going to tie that in a knot. I'm not going to tie it in a bow because they're not very defined when you tie bows from eyelash trim. I'm just going to double knot it so it's not going anywhere. Then I'm just going to dangle it down and cut it off slightly longer than the ribbon. Oh, I like that. And that will then go inside there. Oh, pretty happy with that one. Another 2 to make, and then I've got a set of 3. Before we move on though, I need to put some brown paper on the back, because to be able to use these as tags and pockets for journaling on, we need to be able to write on them, don't we? So I need some bits of brown paper. So we've already roughly torn that one. Let's roughly torn down another straight edge, tear should I say. Roughly the yay wide. So sometimes I cut it square, sometimes I tear it with my tear ruler, sometimes I do it like this by hand. That's gone a bit too wide, hasn't it? And because I then don't want to tear just a tiny sliver off, I'm going to save that for another project and try again. That's better. Then I'm going to come in and tear it around there. I'll give it a tiny bit of an ink round the edge. Yeah, I think I might be getting into Christmas mood a little bit better now. I'm not sure. I'm not going to run off and bake a Christmas cake right like that, you know what I mean? That way. I don't like that pointy bit at top, so do you know what? I'm going to rip it off. I'm happy with that. I'm just going to daub a tiny little bit of ink. I've lost my dauber. Did anyone see where I put my dauber? Where did I put it? Oh my god! I've actually put it where it belongs, on top of ink pad. Yeah, that's that, re-inked. So then we need a little bit on the tag as well. I'll use this one. Rip off that. Yep. Saves so much time, this ready sticky stuff. Yeah, a little bit of ink, not a lot. Peel the backing off. There we go. So they are ready to write on. And that is one finished little pocket tag. Because this video has gone on quite a long time, I'm going to leave it at that one. You get the idea. I'm going to do the exact same thing with the other 2, and I will show them all finished in the thumbnail for this video. So thank you for joining me. I do hope you enjoyed that. I'll put the links to everything in the description. I'll put the link to Craftbox in. Yeah, I must say again, everything is absolutely beautiful. Just be aware if you're buying that ephemera pack with the paper, it's not Christmassy, but it is gorgeous for other projects. So thank you everybody, and I'll see you next time. Bye.